Hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. In this video, we are going to understand how to send email alerts for failed Razorpay payments to accounting teams. So do you also use Razorpay to sell your products online? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here, I'm doing the same. I manage an e-commerce store and for that, I use Razorpay to sell my products online. And now in order to streamline my process, what I want is that as soon as a new payment is failed in my Razorpay account, automatically my accounting team should receive an email alert for the same. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Razorpay and Gmail. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then follow me through the screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video, we are going to understand how to send email alerts on failed Razorpay payments to accounting teams. So as you know that I manage the financial operations of an e-commerce business, and timely handling the failed payment is crucial for maintaining smooth cash flow. So to streamline this, I want to set up this automation that sends email alerts on our accounting team whenever a Razorpay payment fails. This ensures that our team is immediately informed of the payment issue, allowing them to follow up with the customer promptly, address potential payment problems, and maintain accurate financial records. So by automating these alerts, we reduce the risk of missed failed transaction, improve customer service, and ensure faster resolution of payment issues. So to do all of this, I have simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the other one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And as soon as you're going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And as soon as we are going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here, I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations. And on my dashboard, you can see all the folders which I have previously created in which I save my workflows. And over here, if you wish to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this learn more link given right over here. And now it is asking me for the workflow name. So I want the name of my workflow to be send email alerts for failed Razorpay payments to accounting teams. And then we are going to click on create. And as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this, you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here, we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. And by this, you can finally understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions are response towards that same command. And in order to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as Razorpay because I want that as soon as a new failed payment is made in my Razorpay account, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically, trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So over here, I'm going to select my trigger event as payment failed because I want to trigger my workflow for the same. And as soon as we are going to select the trigger event, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Razorpay account and our Pabbly's workflow. So what we're going to do is first we're going to copy this webhook URL and then we are going to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your Razorpay account and navigate to the webhook section available under the settings section. So you can see over here is a hyperlink which will directly take us to webhook. So I'm going to click on this hyperlink right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on this hyperlink given right over here which said webhook, you can see that it is automatically opening my Razorpay webhook section. Over here you can see webhook. So yes, this was very easy because I've already logged in my Razorpay account previously. So it's always advised to log in your applications before starting with the automation. And now after opening this webhooks, we have to go on add new webhook right over here. And now it is asking me for the webhook URL. So you're going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow, and now it is asking me for the secret. So if you wish, you can definitely add a secret right over here, but I don't wish to add, so we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the alert email, so I'm going to keep it as this only. It is saying active event. So over here, I'm going to select the event as payment failed because this is the same event which I selected in my workflow too as my trigger event. And after entering both of these these details, I'm going to click on this button which says create webbook, and as soon as we're going to click on create webbook right over here, yes, you can see webbook saved successfully. So this also means that we have successfully connected our Razorpay account with our Pabbly's workflow by attaching this webbook URL. But over here you can see that now it is saying waiting for a webbook response, and in the notes it is saying now log into the application where you have added the webbook URL and do the test submission / record. So in order to capture this webbook response, we have to follow this and do a test submission or record. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open my Razorpay account and we are going to make a failed payment. So for that I'm going to go on payment pages right from here, and as soon as we're going to open the payment pages, you can see all the pages which I've already created. I'm going to use one from this only, which is this t-shirt sell, and over here you can see the page URL. So we're going to copy this URL and then we're going to open this URL in a new tab right over here, and as soon as we're going to open this URL, you can see over here is the page which I've already created for t-shirt sell. So now I'm going to fill in the dummy details and do the test submission. So for the email, I'm going to keep it as demouser555@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this. This is the city and the country. And after entering all of these details, I'm going to click on pay 1000 right over here. And as soon as you're going to click on pay 1000, over here it is asking me for the payment method. So I'm going to select it as net banking. Then we're going to go on State Bank of India right over here. And as soon as we're going to open this State Bank of India, you can see it is saying this is a demo page. Choose whether you want to make this payment successful or not. So now I want to fail this payment. For that I'm going to click on failure right over here, and as soon as we're going to click on failure right over here, it is saying this will take few seconds, and yes, you can see payment not completed. So yes, with this we have successfully made a failed payment right over here, and with this we have successfully did the test submission too. And now what will happen is that Razorpay will send the details of this test submission to our workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response for the same or not, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see the status failed, and over here you can see all the details which we entered too. Over here you can see the phone number, the email which we entered. Over here you can see the country, the city, and yes, with this we have successfully received the response of the same details which we added in our test submission. So yes, as soon as we are going to receive the response, we have successfully completed our trigger step, which is Razorpay failed payment. So over here now what will happen is that as soon as a new payment failed is done in my Razorpay account, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the response. But what I want is I want to make this automation only for a single product, which is t-shirt sell. For that I'm going to add a filter condition right over here to make this for a specific product. So over here for the action application, I'm going to search for filter. So filter is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to add conditions in your workflow. So I'm going to search for it and select it. So as soon as we're going to select our action application, it is asking me for the action event. So here I'm going to select the action event as filter values, and then we are going to click on connect, and as soon as we're going to do so, it is asking me for the label. So over here for the label, I'm going to search for amount and select amount because I want to add amount as my label right over here. But you must be wondering that the amount of our t-shirt was 1000 rupees, but over here it is adding 2 more extra zeros and showing it to be 1 lakh rupees. So what happens is that while capturing the response, it eliminates the decimal right over here, because over here you can see the amount for the t-shirt was 1000.00, but over here the point is missing, which is the decimal value is missing. So that's why it is showing as 1 lakh. So I'm going to select the same as my label right over here, and now for the filter type I'm going to keep it as equals to. So I want that if the amount is equals to 1000, and over here we have to enter 1 lakh in order to make it 1000. So over here I want that if the amount is 1000, then this workflow should move on further. And now I'm going to click on save and send test request right over here. So yes, you can see condition is true. So only for a particular product, which is t-shirt sell, I'm going to create this automation. For that only I've added this filter condition. So let's suppose that if the payment gets failed for any another payment page right from here, then this workflow will not run on further. It will only run on further in case of t-shirt sell whose amount is 1000, or you can see 1 lakh. So now I'm going to add another action step right over here and move on further. So what I want is that as soon as a new failed payment is made, I want to send an email to my accounting team. So for my action application now, I'm going to select it as Gmail. So I'm going to search for Gmail, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as send email v2, and as soon as we are going to do so, we are going to click on connect right over here, and after clicking on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Gmail account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on connect with Gmail. And as soon as we are going to click on connect with Gmail, it is going to ask me to select my Gmail account. So over here I'm going to select my Gmail account, and after selecting my Gmail account, we are going to move on forward. And as you can see that Pabbly is asking for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow, Pabbly save, and as soon as we are going to click on allow, yes, you can see authorize authorization successful. Yes, we have successfully connected our Gmail account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the email address, CC and BCC. So over here, I'm going to enter the email address of my accounting team. So I'm going to keep the email address as accountingteam@pabblytunes.com. So I'm going to enter the email address. And after entering the email address, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for CC and BCC. So if you wish, you can definitely keep someone over here too, but I don't wish to do so. So I'm going to move on forward. And over here, you can see that it is asking me for the sender's email address. So I'm going to keep it as same only, and we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the sender's name. So over here, I want the sender's name to be e-commerce solution. So I'm going to enter it. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the email subject. So I want the email subject to be urgent failed Razorpay payment notification. We are going to move on forward. It is saying reply to. No, so this email is not a reply email. So I'm going to leave it as blank. It is saying email content type. So I'm going to keep it as plain only. We are going to move on forward. It is saying email content. So here I'm going to enter the email content as, hi team, we have encountered a failed payment through Razorpay. Below are the details for your reference, the reason, the customer's phone number and the email. Please check the payment status in our Razorpay dashboard and reach out to the customer to resolve this issue. If you need any assistance or additional information, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for your quick action on this. Best regards, Finance Manager, E-commerce Solution. So here you can see that this is my message, but I've left spaces in front of reason, customer phone and customer email because I have to enter the details right over here. And now we are not going to enter the details manually, but we are going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Razorpay as our trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So with here, I'm going to give you an example that over here it is asking me for the reason, right? So let's suppose that I'm going to enter the reason right over here like this manually, then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I have entered it manually. But if we are going to map this from the previous response, so let's suppose we are going to look for it in the previous response, and as you can see, payment authorization, it is asking me for the customer phone number. So we are going to map that to, I'm going to look for phone number in my previous response, and as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. It is asking me for the email, so we're going to look for email in our previous response, and as you can see the email, which is demoUser555@pabblytunes.com. So we are going to map it. And after mapping all of these details, we are going to move on forward. It is saying file name, attachment. So I don't wish to add any file right over here. If you wish, you can definitely fill in these details. It is asking me for the label IDs. I'm going to select it as inbox. It is asking me for the signature. So over here you can add a signature if you wish, but I don't want to do so. So directly I'm going to click on save and send test request right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on this button, it says save and send test request. Yes, you can see that we have received a positive response. We have successfully sent a mail to accounting teams @pabblytunes.com. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my email and check for the mail received. And yes, over here you can see the mail received from e-commerce solution, urgent failed Razorpay payment notification. So it says, hi team, we have encountered a failed payment. Over here you can see the reason, the customer phone number and the email. And over here you can see the rest of the mail content. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow and we have successfully sent a mail to our accounting teams on failed Razorpay payment. But over here I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what we are going to do is, again I'm going to open my page URL and we are going to do another test submission. For that I'm going to keep the email as testuser55@pabblytunes.com. For the phone number I'm going to keep it as this. It is asking me for the city, so we are going to keep it as Indore, and country as India. So I'm going to click on pay 1000 right over here, and as soon as we are going to click on pay 1000, again it is asking me for the payment method. So I'm going to select it as net banking. We are going to select our bank, and as soon as we are going to do so, we're going to click on this failure right over here. So over here it is giving me this option because over here I'm using a test Razorpay account. If you're using a live account, your potential customers will get the option of do the payment only. So I'm going to click on failure right over here, and as soon as we are going to click on failure right over here, it is saying this will take few seconds, and yes, you can see payment could not be completed. So yes, with this we have successfully made a failed payment right over here in our Razorpay account with the new details. So now with this we have successfully did another test submission, and also what happens is that Razorpay will send the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further sent an email to our accounts team related to same. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open my email directly and check for the mail sent, and this time we are not going back to our workflow. I'm clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my email right from here. We're going to go back, and yes, you can see another mail. So I'm going to open this. Yes, you can see over here is the reason. Over here you can see the customer phone number. number and the customer email. So these details have changed because I mapped it. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. So for the trigger application, we selected Razorpay. For the trigger event, we selected failed payment. For the action application, we selected filter and Gmail because I wanted to create this automation only for a single product, which is t-shirt sell. That's why I selected filter, and I wanted that as soon as a new payment failed is made in my Razorpay, my accounting team should receive an email alert for same, something like this. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here you can see the 2 mails I sent during this video with the help of my workflow to my accounting team. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow and the video too. And this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.